What is going on YouTube? Welcome to Express Jack Outdoors. I'm in Southeast Arkansas, and the title of my video kind of says it all. A lure I lost in the lake 12 years ago. I finally found it. Now, this lure I had imported from Japan because back in the early 2000s I used to sell a lot of lures that I imported from Japan on eBay, and this one particular lure I got 3 of them in, and they were a discontinued color, and I sold 2 of them, and I think I got 40 or 45 bucks a piece for them, and then I put the other one away in my tackle box. Well, fast forward to 2007, about 5 years later, I was fishing a bass tournament on a lake in northeast Oklahoma, and I was fishing a point that had a deep channel that ran along the side of it with a big old lay down tree. Now, I knew this particular tournament I was fishing was a 3-fish limit, and I knew that I was going to need about 11 to 13 pounds to win. So I pulled out a rattle trap, and I've been throwing on this point, ripping this trap across the top of this lay down on this point. I wasn't having much luck, so I tied on this lure that I had imported from Japan, and my second cast I nailed about a 5-pound bass, and then I proceeded to throw out there, and 2 casts later I nailed a 4-pound bass. So I looked back at my buddy and I told him, I said, man, all we need is another 4-pound bass, and I think we got this tournament wrapped up. Well, I took that lure that I'd got and I chunked it out there, and I got it hung in about 12 or 13 foot of water on that lay down. And it ended up breaking off. And I looked and I looked and I looked for, gosh, I don't know how many years. And I finally gave up. Well, here around Christmas time, Tackle Warehouse started getting these Lucky Craft lv200 lures in. This was the exact lure that I lost 12 years ago, the exact color, which is a Florida bass. And I had another one in my tackle box, but I didn't throw it. Matter of fact, this is one that I had imported from Japan in the early 2000s. And it's been in my box, and it's just, been sitting in there. This one feels a little bit heavier than this one. I'm not sure the weight on this one, and I can't read this one. So anyhow, these don't have rattles in them. They have a clacker, and I think that made all the difference in that tournament. Now, I do have a few more trap type lures. They're lv200s, and they're in a smallmouth bass pattern. One of them, this is a holographic. You can't really see it. It's a holographic bass, smallmouth bass, and this is just a regular smallmouth bass. Now, these lures here, they're hard to come by too. And back in the early 2000s, these were fetching a pretty penny themselves. And these are a rattling type lure. But anyways, these are definitely, this lure here has definitely cost me many endless nights of sleep. But anyhow, Tackle Warehouse started carrying it. It's a Lucky Craft lv200. It's new from Lucky Craft, and it is imported, or it's made in Japan. So I figure if it's made in Japan, it's probably imported from Japan. So definitely, you get a chance and you make an order from Tackle Warehouse, definitely pick one or two of these up. This is a Florida bass color. Anyways, the weather is starting to turn. It's going to be getting warmer here before long. I got my trolling motor bracket on my boat this week. I got to get probably in the next week or two, I'm going to go out and get a trolling motor, and I'm hopefully here in a month or so, we'll get some good old Southeast Arkansas bass fishing. Flipping cypress trees and square bill 6-cent crankbaits. So like, subscribe, hang on, and give me a couple more weeks. And until then, give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate the views.